Hey, scrapbook friends, it's Nicole, and welcome to episode 29 of our Theme Park Thursday series. Last week's episode was very kind of short and sweet. I felt like it happened fast, and that was great. And I thought that this one was going to be the same. I thought, oh, good, maybe I've figured this out, and I'm going to have a speedy layout again for you, and you'll be so impressed. Well, then it turned into something more because I ended up putting a little pocket in it. So it ended up, I had to kind of take some things apart, but hopefully it shows you kind of the process of sometimes when you think you're going one direction, you realize you have to change it up a little bit. So this is the Remy's Ratatouille adventure from Epcot, and it's going to be episode 29 of our Theme Park Thursday. And so stay tuned to see how it all came together and how I had to kind of pivot in the middle to make it work for what I decided I needed to do after I'd already almost finished the layout. Okay, so for this layout, I have 4 pictures. I have a picture of the sign. I have this cute, you must be one Remy tall to ride. Can't get it to focus, sorry. You have to trust me. You must be one Remy tall to ride this ride. I have this fun PhotoPass picture that they take where they put the little Remy in it. And then I have this one that Michelle did on Snapchat, next up, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, that has kind of the front of the ride. So I don't know if I need that one. I definitely want, because that's already here. So I definitely want these 3. So my last week's layout was the Soarin', that very simple one. But this has a little bit more kind of elaborate stuff on it. And I wonder, we had a pack called Silver and Gold. I wonder if it has something, I think it has something that was really kind of frilly and French. I mean, I could trim this a little bit. That would be fun to kind of trim that. I could trim this a little bit, do something kind of like this. I don't want it to look too much like the previous layout. So let me see if I can find that silver and gold paper and if that's what I want. Okay, so this is the silver and gold. There was an accent paper pack and a tone-on-tone paper pack. So I thought I had these already open, but they were just in my stash. So this is the paper that I'm thinking might work for this. And it's got foil on it, which I always love. So let's see. The back is a stripe. So it's right here. So that's kind of that. I feel like that has a lot of that same little look, and it's the foil. I could do that. I could even do this black. I could do both of them. It's the same, like the same design. I wonder if it's exactly the same, that if I cut this, it would match. Oh, that would be really cool. If I trim this down and then it aligned with the pattern. It kind of looks like it is the same pattern. I don't know if you can see that, but like the pattern lines up. Oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. And I think I am going to do this. I'm going to make a border. Last week's layout was very much like this. So I kind of don't want that. I guess I could do it like this. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, kind of like this. And then I could cut this to fit down here and put this up at the top. So this is on here. Oh, and then the Dine Border Punch. I wonder if I have the Dine Border Punch. I mean, I know I have it, but I don't know where it is. If it's at home or if it's over at my studio. I think it might be at home. I could do the little Dine Border Punch in some gold, gold metallic. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I don't know what's going on with me lately, but I feel like I'm coming up with my ideas a little bit faster. Maybe the whole looking at Pinterest thing takes me longer than I really want to spend. So perhaps I need to just, get on with it and come up with my own ideas. All right, so we're going to do it like this, which means I probably want to take a good portion off the top. Because I know I want to cut like a 1/2 inch off the bottom and then a 1/2 inch off either side. But I want to make the piece that I cut off be, you know, keep that 12 inches if I can. So if I do this one to here, this is a 0 centering, so that's 7 inches, but I need to add that 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut this at 7.5, except that because I don't like to have to fold out the arm on my trimmer, I want this to be 7.5 inches. So if I cut this one at 4.5, right? Because 5 and 7. So I do 4.5 off of this side. And just to make the pattern line up, I've got to do, I'll cut the 1/2 inch off the bottom. And then a 1/2 inch off each side. I can't just cut an inch off and call it good because I want to keep that pattern hopefully matching. My fingers aren't crossed because I'm using my trimmer, but hopefully your fingers are crossed. This is going to work. And if not, no one's going to know, but I still hope it works. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I hope you can see. Oh, you can. Look how cool that looks, how it just lines up. The patterns line up perfectly. But I think, oh, this has the stars on the back. I think I'm going to cut a piece out right here just to have some of this black with the stars, because this is also one of the metallic pieces. So I think I'm going to gut this, and I'm going to cut out, I think I'll do 1 inch and I don't want to do just 1 inch. I guess I could do 1 inch. That doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room. If I do 1.5 inches, I don't really end up with that much of a piece, but I'm going to gut out 1.5 inches from the sides. And so then this needs to be, I don't know how to measure. 1.5 inches from here, be right there, which will be, okay, never mind. This is hard. I'm having trouble here. So we'll do about right there. I guess we could do cut 6 inches out of the middle, 1.5 inches up, 1.5 inches in, and then 6 inches. I better write that on a Post-it note. Okay. And I'll put it right here so I know that I cut the right side. And so I'll do the 1.5 inches first, which is right here, and 1.5 inches here. And so to get to the 1.5 inches, I'll be at that. Okay, there's 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches. And then how do I get this to be 6 inches high? I guess I put 6 plus 1.5 inches would be 7.5. So if I do this way, I had to fold out my arm after all. 7.5. Just make sure that that's still going to work. No, that's not going to work. I want it to be 6.5. I'll put it at 6.5 inches. 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches in. And then I'll do I can see the line, so now it's easy to just match up the white line with the cut line. Cut. And 1.5 inches. That one's a little harder to see at that angle. But okay, there's, I have a little bit of this piece with the stars. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. Probably not this layout. And you don't have to do that, you know, that's, I feel like, oh, I need to be frugal with my paper, but I have so much scrapbook paper, you guys. I'm sure none of you can empathize with that at all, right? So much scrapbook paper. Sometimes I think, don't be frugal. Use it up. Your goal is to use it up so that I can buy more, of course. But okay. So let's just try really hard to get this lined up. You can see it right here. Oh, it looks like it's a little bit this way. I guess I could use my ruler. I could use both of them, actually. Put the 1/2 inch line about right there. This is a little extreme, even for me, to use 2 rulers to position my paper. But I've never tried to match patterns like this before. Okay. All right, looks good. Looks good. Very, very fun. Okay, so we'll do that. This one is staying, and I wonder if I should do the gold. I actually wonder if the gold shimmer is going to be the right color to match this. You know, gold is gold, but sometimes this kind of is almost like a little coppery. Let me pull out the gold shimmer and see if it's the right color for what I want. Okay, here's the gold shimmer. What do you think? Is it the right gold? I think it's good. I think that'll be fine. I mean, maybe I'll try the bronze shimmer too. This is the bronze shimmer. I don't know. I like the gold. It matches. Oh, let's look at this. Oh yeah, we'll use the gold. Gold shimmer. No need for the bronze. I'm gonna trim this down, and then I'll mat that, and then I did find my Dine border punch, and so I'll punch that to go up here. Took me a minute to find my personal trimmer because I have a little shelf for it, and I'd stuck it too far back so I couldn't see it from the side, but it was right where it's supposed to be. It looks about centered. We'll do that. Cut some of this off right here just to. I wonder if I'm going to need to mat all of these in the gold shimmer. Luckily, gold shimmer is a permanent color now, so I've got lots of it. Hooray! About a 1/4 inch mat, I think, for this one. I'm going to cut it this way first so that I'm left with my big long 12-inch. And I'm positioning this edge of the picture kind of along this, the track. I think that gives me about a 1/4 inch. Oh, look at that. That was pretty sweet. And that way just helps me to know how to cut my paper. Okay. And then this I'll just cut. I think I'll trim. I don't like this right here for sure. Maybe I do want the copper for this one. It's a little bit like darker. Oh, maybe I want a double matte actually, because I really like that with this. Oh, okay. So now we're double matting. That was not my plan, but let's do this. This is gonna be just a little, like 1/8 of an inch. And so to cut the mat for that, I'm gonna use this trimmer because there's this section right here where it's kind of frosted, and then right here it's clear, and I feel I can line that up with that little side, and that seems to help me cut a nice even mat. The new trimmer, I think I told you about after I came home from Puerto Vallarta, the new trimmer has like a little raised line all the way along the top, and I think it's going to do the exact same thing, so I'm excited about that. All right, there's that. And this, yep, gonna have to do it. This one's not going to fit in that trimmer because this only fits to 7. And which is why I'm so excited for the new trimmer, which fits 6.5 by 9. And it has a little arm that folds out like this. It's not as long as this one. It's only about 3 inches, I think, but it will let you cut an 8 by 10. So you can trim down your 8 by 10s. If you have an 11 by 14, you'll still have to get your 12-inch trimmer out, but so excited. Coming, advisors will be able to purchase one in July, end of July, if all goes well, and then it will be opened up for everybody the end of August, so watch for that. I'm going to just trim it a smidge more. I still feel like I get more precision with this thing. All right. Oh, the Dine Punch right here. Here's my gold paper. I did already use this punch in this, on the Magic Kingdom page, didn't I? I just need one for this. I don't actually know if this is going to match the feeling of this kind of brocadey paper, but I hope it will. You know, sometimes I think about the layouts ahead of time, you know, before I turn on the video. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do, you know, next week or whatever for a few days. And I didn't do that this week. Haven't had really time to think about much else. But this one also is coming together quickly. So for those of you that don't like the long videos, hopefully this is going to be good for you. All right, I feel like it needs something else right here. Maybe like something that goes more with the brocade. So let's see. I think probably a border maker cartridge. Yeah, let me see which ones I got. Oh, sweet. Okay, I have this one. I think it's called Baroque, and I think that will be great. And I'm going to cut it out of the bronze shimmer. I'll have to get another piece. Maybe I'll do 2 pieces of the bronze shimmer, one underneath and one above. So let me do that. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. I don't always. Sometimes I'm really bad at just punching on top of my layout, but I think it's probably a bad idea. So position this in here. So the bronze shimmer paper, you can see it's a little bit big. So when I put it in here, it kind of folds a little bit. I've talked about the, you know, the tolerances of paper. So this is curving, and sometimes people say, oh, you know, it doesn't fit. What do I do? Just ignore it. Once you get it punched, it's going to be fine. There may be a little string at the end, but it won't matter. You have to trim it anyway because it means that this paper is slightly bigger than 12 inches. All right, so here we go. That's that little piece at the end, and we'll just trim that off. And I may have to trim it off the edge of the page. I think I'm just going to do one for now and then decide if I need a second one. All right. Okay. I think I want the second one. Yeah, see, it's poking off the edge. I'm trying to line it up and it won't line up. I think I do want a second Baroque punch right there, so I'll do that one off camera. All right. So this is the same border punch, but by, you know, kind of flipping it around. Like I don't like to have it necessarily be same, says the girl who just matched this exactly. So I think I want to do it opposite and even this way. So then it looks, you know, a little bit more random. So we'll do this one here, that one in the middle, and then this. Okay, I'm loving this. It's coming together more quickly than I had anticipated. Right, so let's get some repo adhesive on this and stick these guys down. I'm going to use my grid here to align my pieces. And I know this one of these sides, I don't know which one goes off the edge. So we'll just kind of looking at that line right there. Actually, I guess I can just use this, eyeball it with the edge of this paper. We'll do the next one. For this one, I like to put the adhesive kind of on the little floaty ends, but you know, oh, out of adhesive. Okay, let me find some more adhesive. Be right back. Always keep extra adhesive handy. And I think I've said before that I feel like I use so much more of the repositionable, just because I cover more spaces. I don't know. I think it's psychological. I'm sure it's psychological. Okay, I'm gonna line that up with that grid line right there. And then that grid line right there. I mean, it's obviously psychological. All the things we do are psychological. But this here. Okay. That looks pretty straight to me. It's a little low from the top. Kind of. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to put a little gold line all the way around. Oh, see, now that I'm looking at this, I feel like it needs that little gold line. But this, I don't want to cut this too much. I guess would just cut off 1/8 of an inch here and here. I wouldn't have to cut any on the bottom, and I could cut a 1/4 inch off the top. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and that way I don't have to trim those little pieces that were too long, because I'm just going to trim 1/8 of an inch, which is the second line on the cutter. So the dotted line closest to the logo is the cutting line, and then just that next little line over is the 1/8 of an inch. And because I'm cutting a really skinny piece, I want to cut up toward where I'm bracing my paper, making sure it's straight. I'm cutting through a couple layers, so I want to make sure I press down hard. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here, 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm not going to do the bottom because it's all right to me if that bottom is a little bit wider, gives a little bit of visual weight, but I'm going to do 1/4 inch at the top. Okay, now I'm going to get a whole piece of gold shimmer and I'm going to gut it. I'm going to leave a 1-inch frame like we did for this. Okay, so I'm going to take a whole gold piece and just gut it so that it just is going to give me just this little border around the edges. And I could have, oh, it doesn't seem like it's quite exactly the same. I could have probably used this piece and just pieced it, but I think this will be easier. I think that will be good. So I'm just going to do a 1-inch frame, and 1 inch is the easiest for me to cut because of this housing. This is 1 inch, so when the end of the housing matched up with the paper at the end, I know that I'm done with my cut. So I start the cut right here. See, so then I end, the housing is right here at the edge of the paper, and that's the inch. So it's my favorite size frame to cut. And I have a video about how to cut frames with the 12-inch trimmer. So if anyone doesn't know how to do it, let me know, and I'll try to remember to link it in the comments. But I always say that like in the videos, and then by the time I get them edited and uploaded, I forget what I was going to do. So you always ask me in the comments and I can help you. It's pretty easy for me to find older videos on my channel. Easier than for other people, apparently. Just because I can go to my master page. Okay. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to put the adhesive. Oh, it is sad to not use the embossed half. Trying to keep the adhesive within like a 1/2 inch of the edge so that there will be no sticky poking out the back. Just make sure you don't put any, in the middle up here, because there's be nothing for it to stick to. Okay, I guess it'll be a little bit farther up in the screen. So if you end up that it's not exactly the same, like if one of the pieces, one of the sides is not exact, I always like to have it be the bottom. But I think actually I did okay on that. I think that looks pretty centered. Okay, then we'll put Remy's Ratatouille up here and this right here. Do I need to mat this one? Sometimes I feel like if you mat one of them, you have to mat all of them. And so maybe I do. And since we just used that other piece of bronze shimmer to make the border, I've got a piece that this will fit on. So, okay, I guess we're matting them all. And again, just a little hair of a mat. This one I think is probably even less than 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to cut it first on this trimmer, but I do really think that I will want to even it up. Oh, actually I did all right. I might want to even it up on a personal trimmer. Well, that's pretty okay. I don't think I need to. Yay, go me. Okay, now we're done cutting. Probably need a white. Oh, I wonder if I have some. Oh, I wish we had plain white vellum. We don't have plain white vellum. I need to send that in as a suggestion. Actually, I just remembered that there was a funny story that happened when the girls were writing this. They saw a celebrity, Norm Lewis, who was in a version of Les Mis that we like, the 25th anniversary concert. And my daughter texted me and said, hey, Norm Lewis is on the ride ahead of us. And in my brain, I don't know, I saw Norm Lewis, but I thought Norm Macdonald from Saturday Night Live. So I was kind of watching for Norm Macdonald. And oh my gosh, they have not let me forget that. That'd be fun to put that in journaling. I might have to do it as like a little, I could do it as like a little hidden journaling pocket. That's going to make this layout video a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I could do it because I've already got this on there. It would not be hard for me to put a pocket back there to create that journal box. It's going to be on the right side, so I know the journal box can come out this way. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do a pocket, which kind of, I have to take some of this apart. So stay with me. I want to build my pocket out of just a piece of paper. I wonder if I should use, I don't think I need to use cardstock because it's going to be stuck down. And I just need like a little piece. It's going to go under here. So I think if I will get out my scoring blade. I've done a video about how I do different kinds of pocket pages, and now you get to see it in action. So I've got the little footrest up. So I'm going to score this at 4 inches, I guess. I don't need the whole piece because it's just going to be, I think I'm going to cut it at 6. I'll cut it at 6 inches. This is, I would say this is live scrapbooking, even though you guys know I'm not live. I'm not brave enough for that yet. I like being able to edit out, I don't edit out a lot, but if I sneeze or something, we're all happier if you don't have to listen to that. Okay, and so I'm going to score, I want it to be 4. I think I'll score it a half. And I'll score it 1 inch because I want to be able to fold it over to make my pocket. So we're going to score it 1 inch, and then I'm going to put the score line at 4. So I'm going to score right here at 4, and then I'll put this score line at 4. I don't know if you guys can see the score line, but I can see it. So the score line's right here at the 4 inches, and I'll score here again. And then I actually could probably cut that off because I just need my little pocket right here. And I want to put a, I want to put the end, actually I think I'll cut that piece off. I want to close up the end somehow. So I should have maybe made it a little bit, well, I just won't do 4x6. I'll do like a 4x5. I'll trim that off. So basically I just need, I'm building my pocket. So I have the front of the pocket, the back of the pocket, and then the piece that I'm going to put the adhesive on to hold it all shut. Actually, put a little bit right here on the edges. Okay, so there's this part of my pocket. And then I'm going to just take my scissors. Maybe I'll mark with the pencil. I'll mark with the pencil at like 1 inch. So I know where to cut to. I'm just going to trim this right here. And I could actually just, I could have cut this off before I did the, before I sealed it together. And I could just leave it on, but I think I am going to trim it off. I know, I'll fold this out of the way. And then I'll just trim this off to reduce the bulk a little bit. That is not straight. All right, well, whatever. And then I can just fold this back over. And there's my pocket. Okay, so now I need to put my journaling in here. And do I want to use, maybe I'll use a piece of the gold cardstock. And I think I let this be a 4x6 or 4x5, but I want it to poke out the edge a little bit. I'll put it right here with just a little tab. Actually, now I have to take this whole thing apart because I now want to cut a little bit more off of this edge. Can I get away with it? Yes, I'm going to cut a little bit more off this edge. I'm going to take all of this apart. I think I can do it without disassembling the whole thing. Let me do it this way. I'm going to cut like a 1/2 inch. I am making this harder than it needs to be. If I would have not stuck this down before I decided to do this, it would have been okay. I'm going to cut that 1/2 inch off. Now my whole thing isn't going to be centered, but hopefully that will be okay. Uh-oh. I ripped the black paper. Guess we're putting an embellishment there. And this has to scoot over a smidge too. And I cut off all the adhesive. Oh, there's the downside right there. That piece of black paper stuck onto the adhesive. I wonder if I can use some repo and magic it back into its space. Nope, I ripped it. Okay, that didn't work. All right, we'll figure something out for that. But we'll use the journaling. I'm going to cut this to be, well, I guess I'm going to use the big trimmer because I want it to, I'm going to put this in here. So this can be 5.5 inches. And I think this is a little bit more than 4. Yeah, it is. So I actually want a little less than 4. So I'm going to do like 3 7/8 so that will slide in here easily and not, you know, you'll be able to pull it out. It'd be fun to have something like a circle or a tab. Maybe I could use the plate and put that on here as a little pull out. I'd have to do a black circle under the plate and then the plate. So maybe we'll do that. See if we can figure out what size circle that is. Maybe I can use the blue blade, might be the right. See, it's a good thing I have this piece of black because I might need to cover up right there, even though I did all that meticulous matching. I might just do a little tiny piece. I'm going to do a circle. And I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I want it, I can't get it in. Well, I guess if I do it over the top of this, then it will, the actual circle won't have the silver star on it. It'll be covered up. No, I think that's too small, actually. Yep. Okay, so green blade. That was the best. Well, I wonder if red blade. No, red blade's going to be too big. Green blade. Okay, that's just right. That's just right. And I'll punch. I'm going to have to punch 2 because the plate is on the side. I guess if I just do it like this. Line it up that way. I just need 1 plate. There it is. I'll stick that on there, and then we'll put the little plate to pull out. That's what happens when I think, oh, this could be another quick layout, and then I have some idea that has to happen. Okay. I think I need another piece to go behind it. Maybe I can use this piece. Although really I could have used the back side. That would have been all right. But we'll do this. Actually, I think I want real adhesive for this guy because this is a piece that will be handled as opposed to lots of the things that are under a page protector. So we need that. And we need to put this on. Put this on here so it lines up with that edge. And then, actually, I think I want to cut the sides of this and tuck it under the cutout. I haven't done this before where I've gutted out the inside, so I'm going to just do like this. This is way more complicated than it needs to be, so don't necessarily use this as your example of how to do one of these. And I think I'll put the piece with the fold on the top because that's going to be a little bit harder. I'll put a little adhesive on here and put it underneath the flap. Hopefully you can see that. But I want it to then line up with the edge of this. No, it's a little too, I didn't cut quite enough. Now that'll be all right. That'll be okay. And then I'm going to just adhesive the heck out of this. I am kind of using the welding technique on this edge so that the some of the tape is on the pocket and some of it's on this. And then I'm going to put it all along here. It's kind of the edge, which is the weak, like the weak link, because your papers will get stuck when you're sliding it in and out. So do that. Here's my little journal thing. I'm not going to write on the, oh yeah, that worked. That worked. Okay. And we'll have this. Which side did I do a better job making it look like a circle? I thought I cut it nicely, but put it right like that. Put real adhesive. Right here. Right there, and then I'll put this little piece on the back. Again with little strings. Gotta say, I wonder if doing these YouTubes where I'm doing my whole process, I wonder if it's making me more likely to talk to myself while I'm scrapbooking. It's already a habit that I have. Okay, and I want to use just white. I'm going to just journal on white and cut a piece to fit this. I did, what is it, 4 by 5, 3 5/8 by 5 1/2. So I want a piece of white cardstock. I really miss when all of these were cardstock instead of paper. Although I sometimes like having the paper, a lot of the times I really needed the cardstock. All right, so it was 3 5/8. So I'm going to do 3 1/2. And then rather than try to measure it, I'm just going to like stick this on here and mark it with the pencil. So I know where to end my little journaling box. And trim that off. Okay, so now I'm gonna journal. I'm not gonna stick this on yet in case I mess up, which is super likely to happen. I'm gonna journal that little story about Norm Lewis, and then I'll be back to put the pocket together. So I got my journaling done, basically that story about Norm Lewis, Norm Macdonald, and it's going to slide right into this little pocket right here. And I think it's perfect. But then I also wrote that I can't ride because of motion sickness, so the other two goes without her. And then I wrote, pull the tab to read a funny story about what happened next. I want that to be right here. So I'm going to move this around a little bit. Hopefully this won't, I just felt it rip the paper. I'll put this right here. I'll scoot this over. And we'll put this over on this side. And that will work. Okay. This adhesive is still sticky, but just in case, I'll put a little bit more on. I'm gonna try and align this so that angle is kind of the same as that angle. And then we'll put this right here. Oh, do I want it over the top? Maybe I do. I think I do. I want this to be my focal point photo, so it can come over the top of that. And then I'll put this right here. Okay, that worked out. I got to do something with that little spot. And I think what I'll do is I'll just take a piece. I don't think I can match it. I don't know that I care. I'm just going to take a little piece of this black paper. You can't even see all that effort I went to match it. I'll just put that right there. Do a little tiny piece to cover that. And because I want this to stick down well, I'm going to put regular permanent adhesive on it, but then I'm also going to do some repositionable around the edges so that it sticks down, so that none of the edges kind of poke up. Especially since it's right here on the corner. It will be under page protector, but it's going to be right here by this this little tab. And actually this might need to be a little bit longer piece. Maybe I need to make this piece a little bit longer so it pokes out more, but I don't know. All right, there we go. I think that that's invisible enough that nobody's ever gonna notice it, and I'm gonna forget it's there, which is one of my favorite things about, you know, being forgetful. And I don't think I need another title on here because I used this. So here's what the back looks like with this little pocket. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little strip. I got this little strip just to adhere that down. Just to make it a little bit more secure. And I can actually do the same at the top. You wouldn't have to do this if I hadn't gutted it. But I want this pocket to stay where I've put it. So that's probably good. So then when I put it in my page, it'll all be protected. All right, so Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I might need another little piece. Maybe I need the circle punch and put another piece behind it so it's easier to grab, because I just realized that the page protector is going to come all the way to here. I don't want you to have to like reach under. I want it to come all the way to the edge and maybe even go on top of the jeeping a little bit, so more like this. I think I just need another little circle. So let's see, I think I might just cut a circle out of the gold, the black. It needs to be the gold so you can see it. And I think maybe we'll use the same circle, but we'll do the gold. I think I'm going to take off the, and I'm going to need two of them because this gold shimmer paper is maybe I'll use the bronze, because the gold shimmer paper is very lightweight, which is great for most purposes, but not so great if you want something that's going to kind of stand up to some handling. I'm going to do two of them though, so I can put them back to back. I'll take off the other little black piece I put on. Okay. I'll take that black piece off. Boy, I did a good job putting adhesive on there. Oh, I might not need two because this can just be the back piece. I'll do it like that. Okay, that'll be a little bit easier to grab, I think, inside the jeeping. Okay, so we're done with our Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This is layout 29 of our Theme Park Thursday series. And having the numbers isn't really going to help me know exactly when I'm done with these layouts, because some of them are singles and some of them are doubles. But it is pretty pretty fun to know that we've been doing this for 29 weeks together. So this week is National Scrapbook Day. This Saturday is the first Saturday in May, traditionally celebrating National Scrapbook Day. So I hope that you are going to be able to celebrate somehow. I hope that some of you are going to be coming to one of my National Scrapbook Day events. I do have one this weekend. Actually starts tonight, Thursday night, and then I have another one next weekend. Next weekend is completely sold out. Here's our layout that ended up being way more than I thought it was going to be, but I had fun. It was good. It was good for me to realize to make the change and remember about the extra story that I wanted to tell. And I hope that it maybe gave you some ideas and didn't annoy you that I don't know what I'm doing sometimes when I start these layouts. But that's part of the fun of scrapbooking, right? Okay, I will see you back here next week with number 30. That's another nice round number. Number 30, episode 30 of our theme park Thursday. Thanks a lot and happy scrapbooking.